Okay, so I'm still actually ill. Just I got bored, so I thought I'd upload a video. So this is basically what not to do with Chaos versus the Dwarves, especially when you're going to double team with Chaos. Mainly because these guys have no real range units other than Hell Cannons and Marauder Horse, and these guys pretty much all ranged. And because of that, we're not going to even bother bringing any artillery or quarrelers or anything. The fact that they have nothing to deal with these means that we're just going to spam gyrocopters. We bring a total of what, 8 gyrocopters, so especially considering he has a small, large army, and then the other player has, you know, kind of a more standard kind of rush build with Chaos. It's going to mean that these guys, these gyrocopters, are just going to destroy his lines. They're going to destroy his monsters. It's going to be very difficult for these guys to get to our line unmolested. And yeah, this is if you're going up against Chaos, the likelihood of them bringing Hell Cannons is pretty high. But Hell Cannons versus 8 gyrocopters isn't going to do anything. And especially mainly because you're going to want to hit the Longbeards or, you know, whatever artillery they have, so you're not going to waste these shots on gyrocopters. And Marauder Horse, even though I've said before that Marauder Horse versus gyrocopters, you know, the Marauder Horse will win, the one advantage that the gyrocopters have is that they can just retreat. You know, the fact that these guys have they have better speed and better range means that they can just retreat back to their lines. And there's a very good chance that the dwarf player is going to have quarrelers, thunderers, things like that. The Marauder Horse just isn't going to be able to follow. So in this engagement, Marauder Horse would not, well, it wouldn't be that bad, mainly because we don't have any range units. But most of the time, you know, dwarf player is going to have some type of range units. But you know, one-on-one Marauder Horse versus gyrocopters, the Marauder Horse will win. But we weren't really scared about that, especially considering we had 8. I mean, if you're going to bring Marauder Horse, usually you don't bring it that much because it is pretty expensive. So we just decided that, you know what, me and MT, we're just going to go all gyrocopters because that's all we're going to need, and it basically is all that we need. I mean, they're obviously going to engage and they're going to do a lot of damage to my lines and to MTs, but these, you know, gyrocopters, these Dragon Ogres, I mean, he's brought an absolute ton. I mean, his army was only 39 strong, so he's brought an absolute ton of these guys. But these guys just, I mean, against gyrocopters are going to take such a pound, and not to mention these Longbeards take so long to kill. And we've got, I think, between them with 3 Thanes that have dual health potions. We've got a maxed out Runesmith, we've got Thorgrim, we've got Ungrim, we've got a Master Engineer in the back, just shooting at them. It's just going to be a horrendous engagement for the Chaos players. And it was actually quite fun. Now this replay is actually broken, mainly because I watched it just to kind of re-jog my memory, because I did this quite a few days ago, and it says it right at the end, it's a close defeat, even though his army and their army completely routs, all the leaders are dead and everything. So the replay is actually broken, though. This is actually what happened. It's just a few little inconsistencies with how the for example, these guys are gonna be here the entire time, even though they are actually killed them. So that's why I'm, you know, focusing mostly on one, is because all of my gyrocopters on one is because that is already dead. So there's just a few little inconsistencies, but the battle did happen like 99% what the replay is saying. So as you can see, just this little pile of Dragon Ogres. I mean, these guys are just getting absolutely destroyed by the gyrocopters. Not to mention the Longbeards are so good at holding, especially against monstrous units, that it's just going to give us so many opportunities just to sit there and fire. So essentially all we have to do is sit here, let the lines get pounded by Chaos and the Giant, and then that's it. We just have to let the gyrocopter shoot the Giant away. The Giant ends up routing. Korlek routs like twice. All of these Dragon Ogres get destroyed. And as you can see, Empty's making a kind of a rear charge maneuver. He wants to kind of encircle them, and I must admit, we were doing so much micro with the gyros and the loads that mainly me, you see this engagement here, I really should have pushed them in. I don't know why I didn't. Well, I know why I didn't. It was because I was microing. But there's going to be quite a few misplays on my side, in the sense that I'm just not going to move my my Longbeards, and I think it was kind of because I wanted the charge bonus, but it's, what am I going to get the charge bonus against? Exactly, there's no lodge, and you know, I'm not even being touched, so I should have moved them into help the fight, so that was a mistake. It's the same with on this side as well. After that, you see they just absolutely tanked. They didn't do much damage, but they just tanked the Dragon Ogre, so they just absolutely destroyed. Core legs off. My gyrocopters are starting to come in because they've destroyed both the cannons. So it's going to be 8 gyros and however many Longbeards versus just Chaos Warriors that are just getting trapped. And you see they just start routing because they just can't take the fire. Not to mention the Giant's going to be on his way not too long. Then you have, you know, 3 Thanes. There's Thorgrim, Ungrim. Then you have Keon's getting surrounded. It's just not going to go good. And then I decided, you know what, this Master Engineer, just stop shooting, just get in there with your big ass hammer. And he's just going to go MC on him. So Dragon Ogres came back, and Colex came back, but they just kind of got mismicroed, I suppose. And then I finally decided, you know what, I'm sick of waiting. I'm just going to just pile in because why not? I'm not doing anything else. Not to mention he's got Dragon Ogres over there. He's got forces that route, and then you know what? I started to delegate the gyrocopters to the routing troops, but I should have like really delegated all of them instead of just sitting there shooting. You know, I should have definitely tried to get rid of the Dragon Ogres. I should have definitely got rid of Coleg, although he just routed, but I should have made sure that he was going. And then RKO just getting smashed to pieces, and their entire force is just they've given up. I mean, these gyrocopters didn't get a ton of kills, but it's mainly because they attacked. Although empties did better than mine, but that was because I was going after hell cannons. So as you can see, close defeat, even though we clearly won. I don't know why the replays are so broken. But if you look, he has a, you know, kind of a stand. If you're going to bring Chosen, I wouldn't recommend bringing Chosen with the the Axe and Shield, mainly because they don't really do anything. They're really good at holding, but with a Chaos army, you don't want them to hold. You want them to attack. So I wouldn't even recommend bringing the normal ones. If you're going to go with just kind of like a Chaos Rush, just bring either Great Weapons or Halberds. The Giant was a good choice, especially against Dwarves. We could have countered it with Slayers, but you don't see that many Slayers online, or at least I don't. It's actually a really good matchup, Dwarves versus Chaos, to bring Slayers, because they're not going to get hit with missiles. So then you see this guy's army is just basically all Dragon Ogres, which, you know, I can't complain about. I like to use them. I don't usually bring Hell Cannons, I usually bring Marauder Horse. Just because Hell Cannons, you know, if you're going to rush, I mean, the whole point of these guys is to rush, and then you leave these guys exposed. So that's basically 2400 gold just wasted. Whereas with Marauder Horse, obviously you can flank around and stuff. So yeah, as you can see, we just absolutely spam gyrocopters because they would, you know, I was the holding force. I guess I was the anvil, he was the hammer, and then, you know, it was Thorgrim and Ungrim super buddies. So yeah, just a quick battle. Still sick, don't know how long I'm going to be sick for, although good news, hopefully I'm going to be getting a new mic, like a good mic, within the next week, so that's good news, I suppose. Well, laters.